So today's lesson is on combining like terms. First of all, in number 1, for example, we have a variable expression. A variable expression consists of variables and numbers, and they are separated by addition and subtraction signs in number 1. Each one of these is called a term. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 terms in number 1. So if I refer to it as a term, those are the terms. You are going to combine terms that are alike. So for example, in number 1, 5x and positive 2x are alike because they both have the same variable. They both have an x. So we can combine those together. We can add them. So we're going to say 5x plus positive 2x would be 7x, and we're going to write down 7x. Then we're going to look to see what else is alike that we can combine. Well, there's a negative 3z and a positive 1z. So the way you say this is you say negative 3 plus positive 1z. That's a 1 in front, even though we don't see it. It's a 1. So negative 3 plus 1 would be what?
2. Negative 2.
Negative 2. So negative 2z. And then that minus 9, there's nothing to combine that with. So we're just going to put minus 9 at the end. That's called a constant. A number without a variable is a constant. All right, number 2. Now, by the way, here's something else that's important. If the variable doesn't have an exponent, it's really a 1. These variables that don't have exponents, their exponent is 1. You can only combine variables together if they have the same exponent also. So looking at number 2, we have x squared, a couple x squared terms, and a couple x terms. We're going to start with the largest exponent first. So I just said if it didn't have an exponent, that means it really has an exponent of 1. So we're going to start with the ones that are x squared. Start with the higher exponent first. So that's 2x squared and negative 6x squared. So the way we read this is we say positive 2 plus negative 6. We look at that minus 6 as a negative 6. Okay? You can say plus between the two terms, but if it's a minus in front, it's a negative. So 2 plus a negative 6 would be a negative 4x squared. All right, then let's go to the term with the x. I usually put 2 lines under it. So negative 3x and a positive 1x. So negative 3 plus 1, what would that be? Negative 2x. And then we have our constants, our positive 8 and our negative 2. So that's positive 8 plus negative 2. What kind of 6? Positive 6. So we're going to put plus 6. If it was a negative 6, we would put a minus 6. Okay, let's look at number 3 now. Don't let the parentheses throw you off. If there were a subtraction between the parentheses, then we would have to do something extra. But if it's just a plus sign, it's as though it's not even there. It's like the parentheses don't do anything. Okay, so just ignore them for right now. So we're going to combine our terms with the x's first. So 3x plus negative 2x, 1x, which we just put x, don't put 1x. And positive 2 plus negative 8, negative 6. So x minus 6. Whoops. Okay, number 4. Ignore the parentheses because we've got the plus in the middle, so we're good. We're going to start with the larger exponent, which is the what? The x squared. So we've got 9x squared and 3x squared. So 9 plus 3.
12x squared.
Thank you, Kate. 12x squared. And then we've got 5x and negative 2x. So 5x plus a negative 2x.
3x.
Positive 3x. So plus 3x. And then our constants, negative 7 plus 5. Negative 2. Okay, try number 5 real quick. Don't say anything, just try it, and then we'll check it. Okay, so hopefully you started out with the positive 5x squared and the positive 6x squared, and you got,
11x squared minus 5x plus 8.
okay, negative 2x and negative 3x would be yes, negative 5x, and 1 and 7 plus 8. Very good, very good. Okay, now we're going to get to one with a subtraction in the middle. Listen very, very carefully. The first parenthesis won't change. We've got to rewrite this problem before we can start combining terms, okay? So rewrite 5x plus 2, leave that alone. But the subtraction sign, do you know, Jackson?
Don't you change it to a positive and then change the negative to positive?
Okay, that minus sign in the middle is going to change the signs in the parenthesis that follows. It's the distributive property. You're distributing this negative to every term in the following parenthesis. So right now we've got a minus negative 9x, so that's going to become a plus 9x, and a minus negative 2, which is a plus 2. And then combine terms that are like 5x and positive 9x. 5 plus 9 is 14x. Positive 2,
4.
plus 4. Good. Let's try number 7. Question? Let's bring down the first parenthesis, x squared plus 3x minus 1, and then distribute a negative 7x squared, so minus 7x squared. A negative 5x, which is a positive 5x. And a negative 6, so minus 6. It's not an equation, it's an expression. Equations have equal signs. Okay, so now combine things that are like. What can we combine?
The x2 and the 7x2.
The x squared and the negative 7x squared. What's that going to make?
Negative 6x2.
Negative 6x squared. Or you could say negative 6x to the second power. All right, then we could combine the,
3x and 5x
what's that going to make?
plus 8x
Plus 8x. And then,
minus 7.
very good. Try the last one on your own.
Oh.
Okay.
Remember, you got to rewrite it first. How many of you got negative x squared minus 10? Good, a couple of you. All right, so first of all, the positive 3x squared and the negative 4x squared makes a negative 1x squared, but we don't put the 1 in front of the x. We just put negative x squared. Then this x, this minus x and plus x, they just make 0. So we don't put 0x. And then you have your minus 10.
Well,
Yeah.
I put the 0 in because I didn't know.
Yeah, I put